Hello, how you doing? Welcome to another vid. Here I am, different location you've probably seen and different people. I have Deano with me, Mr. Dean Herbert. Yet again, another Dep who fills in for me sometimes because he's really good at what he does. And he's got a problem with his electronics. So he said, could you come over and give me a hand? And how could I refuse? So here I am in his wonderful studio at the bottom of his garden. It's friggin' awesome. Love it, mate.
It's all right, isn't it?
It's awesome. It really is, man. Yeah.
It's my dream. It's my dream, this little place is. I love it.
Yeah, well, thanks for inviting me over. I'm very impressed, man. I love it.
Pleasure, mate.
So what are we doing? What's going on?
So I'm just having real problems with latency.
Okay.
And it's really bugging me because I'm trying to fire directly from the computer from Ableton, and I'm just getting this horrible delay, which I'm hoping you can remedy for me.
Okay, so let's have a listen to it. There you go. So I'm hitting the kick drum now, and that's when the sound's happening. Okay, so the problems you have are the latency, the APC, and the sensitivity settings within the module.
Yeah.
So we've had a little look at that.
Yeah.
And let's have a look and talk through what happened with Ableton.
Okay.
So first of all, we were using the drivers that were inside the computer itself.
The onboard sound card, yeah.
That's right, yeah. And we decided that wasn't going to quite do the job.
Nope.
So Deano's got an ultralight, MEA10 ultralight Mark III. So we plugged that in, and lo and behold, all of a sudden it was giving us what we needed. It was giving us all the buffer size options, which were only going down to 256
before, and then we got right the way down to 32 in the end. Yeah.
Which is what you need it to go down to.
Yeah, sure.
So again, if you're using Windows, I don't do much stuff with Windows stuff. If you're using Windows computers and you're using Ableton, it seems that you don't want to use the onboard sound card. I wouldn't use an onboard sound card with the Mac, so it kind of like makes sense to me that's the situation. Luckily, Deano already had a sound card, as I was saying, the MEA10. Plugged that in straight away. It took the buffer size straight down to 32, and it's triggering. It's triggering great.
Yeah,
it was great.
Loads better.
Okay,
100% better, definitely.
Fantastic. So that's the first thing. The second thing we looked at was the APC40. Now, the APC40 here. It was brought out at Ableton Live 7 at version 7. So if you can get hold of the upgrade, the automatic upgrade of the latest one of Ableton 7, it says that it will fully support it. We can't seem to find that. We've got it up to Live 7.0.18. We're not sure if that is the last fully automatic update that Ableton do, so we can't quite get that working correctly, although we can get it working.
Yeah, it's working, but it's not seeing it.
No, it's seeing it.
Right.
Remember you could see that it was coming
but
up.
It's not in the options, is it?
It's not in the control surface options, but it's in the control input and output.
Right.
Which
okay.
it wasn't in before, right?
Sure. Yeah. No. It wasn't.
And before it wasn't sending any MIDI. You couldn't get any MIDI then.
No, that's
so
true.
now it's getting all that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we're thinking along the lines that it's saying it will fully support it if you get the automatic update. If you're running that later version, I know a lot of people now aren't running 7, but hey man, when you're starting out down this road, you've got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
So so we've had a look at that.
Yeah.
And it is working, but it ain't working great. And then the last thing is the sensitivity of the DTX700. Again, this is different to the 900 that I use, but it is still doable. And I can't stress this enough, man. And I think this is a good example. First of all, you've got a manual. Make sure you read the manual. Secondly, learn your box. Learn what this device does. Go around the screen and dive into it. Have a look at all the names that are there, and don't be afraid of hitting buttons and trying things out. And I think by me doing that, I've shown you once again that everything that's in this box is in the 900 as well.
It's some of the language just
there you go,
scares me a little. Well, it's just new to me. So things like cup zone and closed rim zone and things like that. I'm just a bit wary about what I'm doing, but you've shown me, we've looked at it, and it starts to make sense.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
and with the sensitivity, the way they've got this set up, the DTX700, the way Yamaha have done it. Don't ask me why they've done this, but they have. When you buy a pad is a specific serial number, like the XP 120 or 100, which are 2 snare drum pads that you can get. They've set it up so the sensitivity is already set to a number that has been programmed at the warehouse by the guys that program this stuff. So if you want the sensitivity of that pad, you put that pad in and it will tell you what the sensitivity settings are according to someone else who doesn't play your style, who doesn't have your technique. To me, it's crazy. I don't understand why they've done that with this module, but they have. But they have also got it so you can go from 1.0 up to 2.0 and increments in between, so 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, and those sensitivity settings will allow you to choose something that is more appropriate for your playing at your discretion. And I think that's the way it should always be, personally. But you can do that, you know.
Yeah.
And once you've done it, you save it onto your USB stick, and your USB stick is your little pot of gold and your little money maker that you put in there, that's got all your sounds on there, all your kit settings, your trigger settings, etc., and you carry that around with you everywhere you go. So if you turn up to another venue, wherever it is, a school, a gig, whatever the situation, a studio, and they've got one of these kits, you plug your USB lead in,
and off you go.
And off you go. USB port, sorry, and away you go.
Yeah,
Load
sure.
your thing up, and you can play.
Yeah.
As long as it's got the same firmware in it. You've got to make sure that the firmware is the same. So there you go. Those are the things that Deano was having a little bit of trouble with, and I think we've ironed them all out.
Pretty much. That's still a little bit glitchy, but I'm pretty confident I know what the problem is with that, so I'll come back to you on that.
Yeah, please do, man.
Yeah, but everything else...
We'll come back and have an update.
Yeah, why not?
Come back one day and have an update and see it all working. See Deano's setup all working.
Let's hope so.
So there you go. There you go, mate. Thanks for having me over.
It's been a pleasure. Thanks, honestly.
As always.
Awesome.
Yeah, hey, no worries, man. No worries, you know where I am.
Brilliant.
And there you go. Another bid vid for you. Tune in for the next one. Cheers for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Ta-da.
Take care.